This week's episode of Interviews with Monster Girls goes in a much more comedy-focused direction, not really aimed to do some crazy social dynamics or anything like that. At the core, this episode was supposed to be fun, it was supposed to make you laugh, and just have fun with this group of characters, and that's exactly what it did. I thought it did it damn well. There was a little bit of content with our main character, learning a bit more about vampires and how they react, and how, with the whole thing with sucking blood, it's both a kind of appetite thing, but also a sexual thing, so there was a bit of moments of him trying to figure out the perfect way of how vampires act, and then he makes a joke, or he makes a statement saying that if you were a vampire, a succubus would be the perfect one because it's both sexual attraction, perfect appetite, so Sato should be the perfect one for you to bite on, and that triggers a really funny scene in the end with all the girls being like, you shouldn't be saying that, like, what are you saying, because it does sound wrong. But at the core, this episode was mainly just a comedy episode, very simple, very basic, but it did have a lot of very funny moments throughout the episode, and it was a nice change of pace to just mainly focus, like, specifically on comedy and nothing else. Because at the core, this series has been comedy, but also a lot of kind of either heavier hitting themes, or just really kind of dealing on the fact of what happens when people are out of place and they're in a situation where they are the outcast, things like that. So it was nice to see just a fun episode from start to finish, with a little bit of developing more about what makes a vampire unique and things like that. But at the core, it was a comedy-focused episode, and I had a lot of fun with it. But I have to say, when Hikari was saying, when she was examining our main character's arm, and she was saying, it's too big, it's too thick, I would have hair in my teeth, and then we see the Snow Woman just cracking the hell up because she knows how dirty that sounds, and then our main character's just like, do not say that in public. That was the highlight of the episode, and one of the highlights of this series. I have to say, that just sexual joke there was hilarious. But there was a lot of that, like when Sato was talking with the snowman there about the manga, she's trying to hide that. There's just a lot, like, she like just seems to have kind of a perverted but kind of closet otaku personality there. I thought the entire dynamics of them, that's kind of what it was, you know. The entire episode was, you know, Hikari sucks at school, she's failing class, so she needs to start studying, and that's kind of the setup overall for the episode, so that she'll get good with her studies, things like that. But at the core, it was a very basic episode, but even though it was so basic, I think it was one of the stronger episodes just because it was so fun. It knew exactly what it wanted to do. It didn't try to go anything crazy with social dynamics or anything like that. It was just meant to be the kind of episode that makes you laugh, that makes you have fun, and just shows you kind of the silliness of Hikari even more. Like, at the core, we all know she's the star of the show. Even if you have a favorite character, it feels like the author of this manga really put Hikari as the focal point of the craziness. She's kind of like the many-faced god with all of her individual facial reactions, the way she'll go gray when she sees that her sister dropped a rank because of one of her friends getting first place. There was just a lot of moments like that, but at the core it was Hikari's episode, but the other characters did have a bit of time to shine in their own way, which I'm happy for. I mean, despite it being Hikari's show in a lot of ways, or Hikari's episodes, it still feels like the characters are getting their time to shine, which is something I appreciate, as this is a medium-sized cast. If this was just Hikari, that'd be a little disappointing, so I'm glad the later half of this series is giving the time to the other characters, so you feel like they're not just there to be comic relief for the other characters, they get their own scenes even when Hikari's not there, and I do feel like Hikari is the more or less the main female character in the show. Despite what people may have different favorite characters, it definitely feels like she is wrote to be the central female character, but she's always fun nonetheless. But this episode, it was basic, it was simple, there isn't a whole lot to dive into, there wasn't anything crazy that happened, it was pure comedy, and I had fun from start to finish, and really, minus like the first 30 seconds of the episode, everything looked pretty good visually. Like, there wasn't any real animation issues. Like, when the episode first started out, I was questioning, is this gonna have some production issues, as just the way the episode started out, it did look like it was a little lackluster presentation-wise, but then it immediately kicked into really solid presentation with the animation and the visuals, so nothing really to complain about, unless you just found the comedy to be boring and bland. I think a lot of people are gonna have fun with this episode like myself, but I'd be interested to hear, did you love it, did you hate it, were you okay with this direction not being more on the social issues, but just being pure comedy, or did you want something else? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, and before you leave, hit that like button to show your support. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.